Have you ever reflected on what your love life would be like if you viewed it from the perspective of an ancient Stoic philosopher? Today we will delve into a perspective that, although it originated thousands of years ago, still serves us today: the Stoic view. Throughout this video, I will share 5 Stoic pieces of advice that will drastically improve your love life, so it's important for you to stay until the end of the video. Click the subscribe button and let's begin. Stoicism, which originated in ancient Greece and flourished in the heart of ancient Rome, did not just address questions about the nature of the universe or the purpose of life. It also explored the complexities of our emotions and relationships. Life should be lived in harmony with nature, and our emotions, including love and sexual desire, should be understood and managed wisely. By recognizing our common nature with other human beings, the Stoics taught us that, while love can be a powerful and unifying force, it should be approached with awareness and not driven by uncontrolled passions regarding sexuality. It is not merely a physical act, but an expression of the natural order with its own purposes and meanings. The significance of understanding this lies in the fact that by doing so, we discover deeper and more meaningful ways to relate to ourselves and others. In other words, the Stoics offer us a lens through which we can see and understand love and sexuality in a broader context, where self-control, respect, and mutual understanding are of utmost importance. So, if you have ever felt lost or confused about issues of love and relationships, or if you are simply looking for a new and profound perspective, join me on this journey through the world of love and sexuality through the eyes of the Stoics. Because although their words were formulated millennia ago, the lessons they contain are as relevant today as they were in the past. Answer me this: how is your love life today? Share your experience with me in the comments. I would be very happy to read your comment. When we talk about Stoicism, it is impossible not to mention the profound relevance this philosophy placed on nature. But how does this relate to our sexuality and desires? First of all, for the Stoics, understanding human nature was essential to living a virtuous life. They believed that we are born with certain inclinations and desires that are essentially neutral. What really matters is how we respond and act according to them. So when we talk about desire, especially sexual desire, it is not something to be rejected or seen as inherently negative. It is simply a part of human nature. However, what differentiates us, according to the Stoics, is how we choose to act based on these desires. Beyond the simple acceptance of desire as something natural, the Stoics viewed sexuality from a much broader perspective, linked to the cosmos. According to their view, everything in the universe follows an order determined by nature, a constant flow of causes and effects. Sexuality in this context is nothing more than an expression of this natural order. It is not just a physical act or a simple attraction, but a manifestation of nature's will for life to continue. This understanding of sexuality as something in harmony with the order of the universe leads the Stoics to see it as something transcendental. It is not just about pleasure or procreation, but a way to connect with something greater than yourself, with the rhythm and melody of the cosmos. Therefore, when we approach sexuality from a Stoic perspective, we are not just talking about individual acts or desires, but about how they fit into the grand scheme of nature. It is a reminder that we are essentially natural beings and that our desires and actions, even in the realm of sexuality, must be understood and addressed in this context. Because in the end, our sexuality, like any other aspect of our existence, is an opportunity to live in harmony with the universe and with ourselves. Have you ever heard the term Stoic love? At first glance, it may seem like a contradiction. After all, Stoicism is known for its focus on self-control and detachment, while love is one of the most intense and passionate emotions we can experience. But this is where the beauty of Stoic thought about love lies. The Stoics, far from renouncing love, invite us to experience it in a deeper and more meaningful way. Seneca, one of the most renowned Stoics, said that we do not avoid emotions but choose which emotions to follow. It is a call not to reject our emotions but to guide them and give them direction. The central idea here is not to be carried away by uncontrolled passions. Love, when impulsive and unexamined, can lead us to hasty decisions, obsession, or even despair. But when we approach it with Stoic wisdom, we can love deeply without losing our inner peace. This is known as love without attachment. Loving without expecting anything in return, without trying to possess or control the other. but simply appreciating their presence and valuing the shared moment. And speaking of this, it is impossible not to mention the epic Epictetus, who had some of the deepest reflections on love and desire. One of his most iconic quotes says, "Do not demand that things happen as you wish, but wish that they happen as they do, and you will have a tranquil life." If we apply this to love, Epictetus is telling us that instead of trying to shape the relationship according to our desires or expectations, we should learn to love and appreciate things as they are. To accept the impermanence of relationships, the possibility that they may change or even end, and still choose to love anyway. Detachment in the Stoic context does not mean a lack of care or affection. On the contrary, it means loving in a freer and more genuine way, cultivating the ability to enjoy the present without constantly worrying about the future, valuing the loved one without trying to change them, and understanding that true love is not possessive but liberating. In summary, the Stoics offer us a unique perspective on deeply passionate love that is also balanced and centered. It is a reminder that love in its purest form is a celebration of life and our connection with others. And when we experience it from this place of Stoic wisdom and detachment, it becomes one of the most enriching and transformative experiences of our lives. Marriage and family have been fundamental pillars in many cultures throughout history. But how did the Stoics view them? What significance did they attribute to these institutions? And how did they live them in their lives? To begin with everyday life, we must understand that for the Stoics, marriage was not just a union of two passionate people, but also a commitment to society and the continuity of humanity. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, mentioned that the act of marriage is a natural act aimed at the continuation of the species. He did not see it as a mere social convention, but as an integral part of the cosmic harmony and natural order of things. From this perspective, the duties and responsibilities in marriage were not seen as burdens, but as opportunities for personal growth and contribution to the common good. Fidelity, mutual respect, support, and commitment were fundamental for the Stoics. A successful marital relationship was based on virtue, mutual understanding, and the commitment to work together to achieve a greater good for both the couple and the community. When it comes to education and children, the Stoics had an equally profound and reflective perspective. They firmly believed that children are not simply small adults, but beings in development who need guidance, love, and above all, good examples to follow. Seneca said that children learn more from who you are than from what you teach, meaning that the behavior and actions of parents are the first life lessons for their children. From this perspective, educating a child was not just about imparting knowledge, but also instilling values, teaching by example, and preparing them to face life with wisdom and resilience. The Stoics advocated for an education that cultivated virtue, self-control, and the ability to face adversity with serenity. In conclusion, the Stoic view of marriage and family is a combination of commitment to nature, society, and oneself. It is not just about fulfilling roles or following conventions, but living according to principles that enrich the lives of individuals and the community as a whole. It is a vision that, although ancient, continues to have surprising relevance in today's world and offers a refreshing perspective on how to fully live relationships and family responsibilities. And we must remember the words of Marcus Aurelius, who stated that what does not benefit the hive does not benefit the bee. This simple reflection invites us to see love and relationships not just from an individual perspective, but also from a collective one, reminding us that what is good for one must also be good for the other and vice versa. Seneca, on the other hand, advised that wherever there is a human being, there is an opportunity for kindness. In the context of love, this reflection invites us to treat our partner with kindness, understanding, and respect, always recognizing their humanity and value in our lives. But how do we apply these insights to our current relationships? Here are 5 tips based on Stoic thinking. But first, I would be very happy if you clicked like. Tip number 1, value the present. Seneca reminded us that life is short. Appreciate every moment with your partner. Live in the present and do not let worries or expectations about the future overshadow your current happiness. 2. Exercise self-control. The Stoics believed in the importance of self-control in love. This means not giving in to unfounded jealousy, anger, or resentment. Cultivate patience and understand that everyone, including yourself, is imperfect. 3. Love without attachment. As Epictetus taught, We should not cling too tightly to external things because they are not under our control. This includes relationships. Love passionately, but always be prepared to accept any outcome with serenity. 4. Cultivate communication. Although the Stoics did not directly address communication in relationships, they emphasized the importance of wisdom and mutual understanding in daily life. In relationships, open and honest communication is essential to understand and be understood. 5. Seek mutual growth. Love is not just about feeling butterflies in your stomach, but also growing together as individuals, as Marcus Aurelius would say. Look for what is beneficial for both and promote mutual improvement in the relationship. In the end, Stoic wisdom invites us to view love and relationships through a lens of authenticity, understanding, and growth. The Stoic philosophers, such as Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius, provided profound insights into human emotions and interactions. Although they lived millennia ago, their teachings remain a guiding light in the complex maze of love in the contemporary world. They emphasize the importance of self-awareness and emotional resilience, encouraging individuals to cultivate inner virtues rather than seeking external validation. Stoicism teaches us to appreciate the present moment and accept the impermanence of life, which includes the dynamics of love and relationships. This philosophical approach encourages us to embrace love with a sense of gratitude and humility, understanding that genuine connections are built on mutual respect and shared values. By applying Stoic principles, we learn to manage our expectations, communicate effectively, and foster a supportive environment for personal and relational growth. By embracing this wisdom, we can find a deeper, more meaningful, and balanced love in our lives. We can learn to navigate the inevitable challenges and conflicts with grace and patience, viewing them not as insurmountable obstacles, but as valuable opportunities for personal and relational growth. In a world often driven by fleeting desires and superficial connections, Stoic teachings offer a timeless and profound framework for cultivating enduring and fulfilling relationships. The Stoic philosophy encourages us to practice mindfulness and self-reflection, allowing us to understand our own emotions and reactions better. This self-awareness helps us approach love with a clear mind and a steady heart, making deliberate choices rather than being swayed by impulsive feelings. By focusing on our inner virtues and the qualities that truly matter, we can build relationships founded on mutual respect, trust, and genuine affection. Through this lens, love becomes not just an emotion but a deliberate practice of kindness, empathy, and resilience. We learn to appreciate the value of patience and forgiveness, understanding that every relationship will face its share of difficulties. By applying Stoic principles, we can maintain a sense of equilibrium and harmony, even during turbulent times, thus enriching our lives and those of our partners. Furthermore, Stoic wisdom teaches us to let go of unrealistic expectations and accept our loved ones for who they are, fostering an environment of unconditional love and acceptance. By doing so, we create a space where both partners can thrive and grow, individually and together. This balanced approach to love ensures that our relationships are not only passionate but also stable and nurturing. Incorporating Stoic practices such as daily reflection, gratitude, and mindful communication can transform our interactions and deepen our connections. As we strive to embody the virtues of compassion, courage, and wisdom in our relationships, we cultivate a love that is resilient, authentic, and profoundly fulfilling. This deliberate practice of love, grounded in Stoic wisdom, ultimately leads to a more enriched and harmonious life for ourselves and our partners. If you stayed until the end of the video, leave a comment saying I stayed until the end. And one more thing, confirm your subscription to the channel. Here are 2 videos that may interest you. Thank you for watching. Take care and see you soon.